Chosen one, lean in, because this is not just another message you stumbled upon. This is not random. This is not coincidence. This is divine appointment. You are here because heaven needed to whisper into your spirit tonight. You are here because the things you have endured were not forgotten, and the pain you carried was not wasted. You are here because God Himself is stirring the waters of your destiny, and He needs you to know something clear. Those who tried to break you, those who mocked you, those who betrayed you in secret, they will regret it. Not because of your revenge, but because of God's vengeance. And when God rises to avenge His anointed, no hand, no lie, no plot can stand. You feel it in your bones, don't you? That strange tension in the air, as if heaven is watching closer than usual. That's because the page of your story is turning, the night season is ending, and the light of divine justice is breaking forth. The tears you cried in silence, the prayers you whispered when no one was listening, heaven heard them. You may have felt unseen, but you were never invisible to God. Every hidden wound, every silent betrayal, every word spoken against you in the dark, He recorded it, and now He is answering. But hear me, the way He answers will shock not only your enemies, but even you. Because God doesn't just restore, He elevates. He doesn't just repay, He multiplies. He doesn't just vindicate, He transforms your ashes into a crown. And those who thought you would stay down will have no choice but to witness you rise. This is why you've been feeling a shift lately. This is why the atmosphere around you feels charged. Why certain people have suddenly grown restless in your presence. It's not you, it's the anointing you carry. It's the seal of divine ownership stamped on your soul. And when God marks someone as His, any attack against them becomes an attack against heaven itself. So let me speak this plainly. What they did to you will not go unanswered. The ones who laughed at your pain, who thought they could treat you like nothing, who underestimated your calling, they have already set themselves on a collision course with the justice of God. Stay with me, because in the next moments, I'm going to reveal the deeper prophecy behind this season. You are going to understand why you went through what you did, how God is about to turn it, and what signs will confirm it in your life. Tonight is not about revenge. Tonight is about divine reversal. Chosen one, the vengeance of the Lord is already moving on your behalf, and the story is about to shift in your favor. And understand this: when heaven moves, it doesn't move on whispers alone. It moves on covenant. It moves on the promises sealed before you even breathed your first breath. That's why you've been carried through valleys that should have swallowed you. That's why storms that were meant to drown you left you standing, scarred, but still alive. It wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was the covering of the one who called you before the foundations of the world. You may not see it yet, but His hand has been over your life in ways too deep to measure. When doors shut, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. When people left, it wasn't abandonment, it was divine subtraction. Every loss, every heartbreak, every disappointment, it was heaven's way of pruning you for a future you couldn't yet imagine. Because the one who holds your destiny doesn't waste pain. He transforms it into prophecy. And this prophecy is not vague, not generic. It is etched in eternity. The one who spoke galaxies into existence, the one who calls stars by name, is the same one who has been speaking over your life in silence. His word has never returned void, and it will not return void now. You may have doubted, you may have wavered, but the word remains. His promises are yes and amen. Even now, as you listen, the spirit within you recognizes the resonance of truth. That stirring in your chest, that's not emotion, that's recognition. Your soul knows the voice of its creator. It knows when heaven is leaning close. And right now, heaven is leaning so close that every shadow in your life is trembling. There is something sacred about this moment, because the message isn't merely inspiration, it's revelation. It's not hype, it's holy. The reason you feel the weight of these words is because they are not mine. They are carried, they are delivered, they are dispatched straight from the throne of grace into the depth of your spirit. And here's the reality. God is not only answering your prayers, He is setting the stage for a public unveiling. What was hidden will be revealed. What was silenced will be spoken. What was mocked will be magnified. And every person who doubted that God's hand was on you will soon witness what cannot be denied. That's why the intensity of your battles has increased. That's why the warfare around you feels heavier than what others seem to carry. Because you're not just another name in the crowd, you're a vessel chosen to carry something larger than yourself. That mark on your life attracts both divine favor and demonic resistance. But the resistance is the proof. The weight of your struggle is the evidence of your assignment. So do not despise the journey. Do not curse the pain. Do not look back with bitterness. Every step has been authored. Every night has been counted. Every tear has been bottled. And now the author is turning the page. Lean in, because what comes next is not just encouragement, it is unveiling. The prophecy of this season is about to be spoken clearly, and it will answer questions you have carried for years. It will explain the silence, it will reveal the delay, and it will confirm why you were set apart in ways you could never explain. You have walked in shadows long enough. The light is breaking through, and the voice of God is about to thunder over your story. The Spirit says this: the season of silence is over. The hidden warfare, the unanswered questions, the long nights of wondering if justice would ever come, they are reaching their climax. What was done against you in secret is now being addressed in the open. The scales of heaven are shifting, and the gavel of divine judgment has already struck. Those who laid snares for your feet, those who whispered against your name, those who thought their cruelty would go unnoticed, they are being summoned to a courtroom higher than any earthly system. And in that courtroom, the judge is not swayed by lies, manipulation, or appearances. He sees intent, he measures the heart, and by his decree, what was stolen will be returned, what was broken will be healed, and what was cursed will be reversed. The prophecy is this: they will regret hurting you, not because you demanded repayment, but because God Himself has stepped in. He will not allow His anointed to be mocked without consequence. He will not let His chosen vessels bleed without redemption. Every arrow sent against you has boomeranged. Every trap dug for you is becoming their own pit. The very words they used to curse you are returning to their lips as poison. And yet, hear this clearly. This is not about destruction for the sake of destruction. It is about revelation. God is revealing who belongs to Him and who opposes Him. Your life is becoming a stage where heaven demonstrates its loyalty. That is why He has kept you alive when others tried to bury you. That is why He has sustained your faith when the weight should have crushed it. That is why your spirit refused to die even when your flesh was weak. The tables are turning, and the turning will not be subtle. The ones who dismissed you will watch your elevation. The ones who underestimated you will see the spotlight of heaven shining on your name. The very circles that rejected you will have no choice but to acknowledge that God's hand has always been on you. This prophecy is not only about justice, it is about unveiling. You are stepping into a moment where masks fall, where false alliances break, where hidden enemies are exposed. The betrayal you endured was the pruning that cleared your path. The loneliness you felt was the separation required for your coronation. For how can oil be poured out in the midst of mockers? How can crowns be given in the presence of thieves? That is why He pulled you away. That is why He set you apart. That is why you walked alone. And soon, you will see the reversal unfold, like a storm breaking the silence of a long drought. Rain will fall where you once wept. Growth will spring from the very ground that looked barren. Opportunities will open where you only saw walls. And those who once gloated at your pain will be forced to watch your joy. The prophecy speaks of tables being prepared in the presence of enemies. Not just meals, but feasts of destiny. Not just survival, but overflow. You will not eat crumbs. You will feast on fulfillment. You will not sip drops. Your cup will run over. And the sight of it will pierce the hearts of those who thought you were finished. This is why your spirit has been restless. This is why dreams have been more vivid. This is why certain people cannot look you in the eye anymore. The shift has already begun, and their spirits feel it before their minds can name it. They know heaven has placed its mark on you, and that mark cannot be erased. So prepare yourself. The prophecy is not delayed. The fulfillment is closer than you think. The reversal is in motion, and soon it will be undeniable. You will not need to defend yourself. You will not need to argue your case. The evidence will be your life. The testimony will be your transformation. The vindication will be public, undeniable, irreversible. This is what heaven decrees. They will regret hurting you, because when they touched you, they touched something holy, and the one who guards what is holy has risen to respond. When heaven releases a word, It is never just about the surface, it is always layered. What looks like an event in your life is actually a parable of something greater. That is why you cannot see this only as people betraying you, or circumstances breaking you, or doors slamming in your face. Those were only shadows. The real battle was deeper. You have been walking through a divine curriculum. Every rejection was a lesson. Every delay was training. Every wound was a signpost. Nothing wasted, nothing random. And now, as this prophecy comes into focus, you must see it with the eyes of spirit, not flesh. In the natural, it may look like vengeance, like payback. But in the spirit, it is balance. It is alignment. It is the scales of justice being corrected. God is not merely punishing your enemies. He is teaching the universe that his children cannot be trampled. He is showing creation itself that light cannot be mocked by darkness, that truth cannot be silenced by lies, that destiny cannot be buried by betrayal. This is why your story has weight beyond you. You thought it was just about survival, but it was about demonstration. You thought it was just about pain, but it was about prophecy. You thought it was just about being left out, but it was about being set apart. And the metaphors are everywhere. Think of the storm you felt like your life was being tossed, shattered, uncontrollable. But storms are never random in the Word of God. Storms separate. Storms reveal what is anchored and what is not. While others drifted, you found your anchor. While others lost their faith, yours grew stronger in the tempest. That was not an accident, that was divine conditioning. Think of the wilderness, dry, lonely, stripped. You wandered through it, wondering if God even remembered your name. But the wilderness has always been the womb of transformation. Israel was forged there. John the Baptist thundered there. Even Jesus was tested there. And you too were purified in the desert heat, prepared for the glory that comes after. Think of the door so many shut in your face, so many refusing to open. Yet in the kingdom, a shut door is not rejection but redirection. One closed door has the power to save you from 1,000 counterfeits. And now, as heaven shifts, you will see the door he kept reserved, the one that requires his hand alone to unlock. Think of the journey, long, winding, filled with detours you never asked for. But the journey was not wasted miles. It was holy shaping. You learned resilience you would never have discovered in ease. You learned discernment you would not have gained in safety. You learned dependence on God that you could not have been taught in comfort. And above all, think of the season. Seasons shift by decree, not desire. Winter does not ask permission to melt into spring. And in the same way, your winter has no choice but to bow to the decree of heaven. This is your spring. This is your time of renewal. The prophecy is not only about enemies regretting what they did, it is about you blossoming in places they thought you would remain barren. That is the depth here. It is not revenge. It is revelation. It is not payback. It is positioning. God is showing you who you truly are by how he reverses what was done. He is revealing your rank in the spirit realm by the magnitude of the warfare you endured. He is proving his covenant with you by the miracles that will follow. And let me remind you of this truth. Vengeance belongs to the Lord. This is his doing, not yours. If you had lifted your hand, it would have been fleshly. If you had cursed them back, it would have been carnal. If you had sought your own revenge, it would have robbed you of blessing. But because you held your tongue, because you kept your faith, because you left it in his hands, you now stand at the threshold of holy vindication. Do you see it now? Every metaphor, the storm, the wilderness, the door, the journey, the season was whispering of this moment. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are being unveiled. And the depth of this unveiling is not just about justice, it is about identity. For in every trial, the real revelation was not who hurt you, but who you are. They thought you were weak, you discovered your strength. They thought you were lost, you discovered your shepherd. They thought you were finished, you discovered resurrection. This is the meaning beneath the prophecy. God's justice is the mirror that shows you your true reflection. And that reflection is radiant, unbreakable, crowned. If you're wondering, how will I know this word is mine? How will I know it's real? The signs are already appearing. Heaven never speaks without leaving a trail of evidence. And if you look closely, you will see the fingerprints of God in the details of your days. The first sign is restlessness in those who wronged you. You may notice their tone shift, their eyes avoiding yours, their conversations carrying an edge of guilt. That's because their spirits know what their mouths cannot admit. The seed of betrayal they planted is now sprouting judgment. They cannot rest in your presence anymore, because heaven's light exposes their shadows. The second sign is sudden separation. People who once clung to you may begin to distance themselves without reason. Don't misinterpret this as rejection. It is divine filtration. Heaven is removing counterfeits from your path, so that when blessing breaks, only the pure-hearted will remain beside you. Some departures are not loss, they are protection. The third sign is unusual dreams and visions. Maybe you've seen images of tables, doors, storms breaking, or light flooding a dark room. These are not random. They are coded confirmations, heaven's way of communicating to your spirit what words cannot fully capture. Pay attention, for the spirit often whispers in symbols. The fourth sign is divine interruptions. Have you noticed moments where plans collapse suddenly, or where obstacles rise out of nowhere? These are not accidents, they are reroutes. God is closing paths that would have led you to further harm. What feels like delay is actually redirection towards safety and destiny. The fifth sign is inner fire. You've been weary, yes, but at the same time, there's a spark in your spirit that refuses to die. In the middle of tears, something inside you still says, "Hold on." That is not your willpower, that is God breathing resilience into your soul. It is His guarantee that you have not been abandoned, that the prophecy is alive within you. And the sixth sign, pay attention, is divine alignment. Little synchronicities, unexpected encounters, words spoken by strangers that feel like answers to your prayers. These are confirmations that heaven's hand is orchestrating your steps, arranging pieces of the puzzle you didn't even know existed. Do you see the pattern? None of these signs are coincidence. They are whispers from heaven, gentle nudges reminding you that you are on track. And while the world may dismiss them as small, your spirit recognizes them as monumental. These signs do more than confirm, they prepare. They tune your heart to expectation. So when the fullness arrives, you won't be surprised. You will say, "I knew it. I felt it. God already showed me." So watch closely. The signs will keep unfolding. They are proof that the prophecy is not waiting for some distant future. It is in motion now, and your life is the canvas where heaven is painting it stroke by stroke. But before the fulfillment arrives, there is something you must be ready for: the hidden challenges. Because every prophecy carries weight, and that weight must be proven in fire before it can be worn as glory. Do not think it's strange when difficulties appear on the very edge of your breakthrough. They are not punishments, they are confirmations. One hidden challenge is misunderstanding. Even those closest to you may fail to see what God is doing in your life. They may question your choices, misread your silence, or assume your solitude is weakness. This will test your patience, because you will want to explain yourself. But the Spirit says, hold your peace. Vindication is not your task, it is God's. Another hidden challenge is sudden resistance. Just when you thought the warfare had eased, new obstacles may rise like shadows from nowhere. Finances may tighten, opportunities may seem to vanish, relationships may strain. But do not mistake this resistance as defeat. It is only the last stand of forces that already know they are losing their grip on you. Darkness always thrashes hardest when the dawn is near. There is also the challenge of weariness. The wait has been long, the road heavy. You may feel your faith flicker like a small flame in the wind. You may be tempted to believe that nothing will change, that this prophecy is just another hopeful dream. But remember, weariness is the enemy's weapon, not God's judgment. And every time you choose to believe despite exhaustion, you are passing a test that unlocks another level of blessing. A subtler challenge is distraction. When breakthrough is near, counterfeits often appear. Opportunities that look good but lack God's fingerprint may come your way. Relationships that feel right but carry hidden snares may approach. This is why discernment is crucial. Not every open door is divine. Some doors are traps dressed as blessings. And perhaps the deepest challenge of all is forgiveness. To step into the fullness of this prophecy, you cannot carry bitterness in your spirit. God may be avenging you, but He still requires your heart to remain pure. This does not mean excusing what was done, it means refusing to let their actions chain you to anger. Forgiveness is the act that cuts the last tie to the wound. leaving your spirit free for the elevation ahead. These challenges are not random hurdles, they are refining fires. They test whether your heart is ready to carry what you've been promised. And if you endure them with faith, you will emerge not only vindicated, but transformed. So take courage. When the challenges rise, see them for what they are. Signs that your prophecy is dangerously close to manifestation. The storm before the sunrise. The labor pains before the birth. The shaking before the settling. You are not being punished. You are being proven. Now, listen carefully, because what comes next is not suggestion, it is instruction. When heaven speaks a prophecy, it always comes with a responsibility. To receive the promise without preparing for it is to waste the gift. And you have come too far, fought too long, and endured too much to miss this moment. The first instruction is this: guard your atmosphere. Be intentional about what you allow into your spirit. Not every voice deserves your ear. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Cut off the noise of doubters, critics, and mockers. The enemy works hardest through distractions and through words that sow fear or confusion. Protect your peace, as though it were treasure, because it is. The second instruction is, strengthen your prayer life. This is not the season for casual faith. This is the season for fire on the altar. When you pray, do not only ask, declare. Speak life over your destiny, command alignment over your steps, and intercede for protection on every side. Prayer is not empty ritual. It is the language of authority. Every whispered prayer becomes a hammer against the walls the enemy built around your future. The third instruction is, remain pure in your intentions. Do not let the hunger for vindication twist into pride. The temptation will be strong to desire their downfall more than your rising. But remember, this prophecy is not about proving them wrong, it is about proving God right. Keep your heart focused on His glory, not your revenge. The fourth instruction is, discern your alliances. Not everyone can go with you into this next chapter. Some people are tied to your old battles, and if you carry them forward, they will weigh you down. Ask God to reveal who is truly for you and who is merely attached to what you provide. Covenant friends will sharpen you. Counterfeit friends will drain you. This season demands separation. The fifth instruction is, prepare for open doors. That means sharpening your skills, stewarding your resources, and aligning your habits. Do not wait until the door opens to get ready. Be ready before it does. Opportunities are coming swiftly, and the unprepared will miss them. If He says you will speak, prepare your voice. If He says you will build, prepare your plans. If He says you will lead, prepare your character. The sixth instruction is, cultivate gratitude in advance. Do not wait for the breakthrough to thank Him. Thank Him now, while it's still unfolding. Gratitude is the posture that multiplies blessing. A grateful heart is an open vessel, and an open vessel is one God can fill again and again. The seventh instruction is, walk in boldness. Do not shrink back when the moment arrives. The enemy will try to whisper, you don't deserve this. You're not ready. It will not last. Silence those lies with truth. You are chosen. You are anointed. You are prepared. Walk through every door as if heaven itself is escorting you, because it is. And finally, the eighth instruction, keep your eyes on eternity. All earthly vindication, all blessings, all promotions, these are shadows compared to the ultimate reward. Do not anchor your identity in what people see or say. Anchor it in the one who wrote your name in His book long before this battle even began. That way, no rise will inflate you, and no fall will destroy you. Understand this clearly. Obedience is your weapon. Every instruction followed is a shield raised, a step secured, a blessing unlocked. The enemy cannot stop what God has ordained, but disobedience can delay it. That is why these words come not as options, but as commands. And as you walk them out, you will feel heaven's rhythm guiding you. You will sense clarity where there was confusion, strength where there was weakness, peace where there was turmoil. Each step of obedience will light the next stone on your path, until suddenly you look around and realize you are standing in the very prophecy you once only dreamed about. So take these instructions seriously. Write them, repeat them, live them, because they are not simply steps to follow. They are keys to unlock what has already been written over your life. The promise is secure, but the preparation is yours. And if you prepare faithfully, nothing, no scheme, no betrayal, no delay will be able to stop what is about to manifest. Do not be afraid of what lies ahead, for you are not walking into this season uncovered. Protection has already been written into your story. Heaven did not bring you this far to abandon you on the edge of promise. The same God who shielded you in the wilderness will surround you in the unveiling. Imagine this. You are like a lamp carried through the night. The flame may look fragile, but it is encased in glass, guarded from the wind, held in the steady hand of the one who will not let it be extinguished. That is how heaven carries you. Vulnerable in appearance, unstoppable in reality. There are angels assigned to your journey, messengers of fire who stand watch when you cannot see. Their presence explains why accidents missed you, why plans against you crumbled, why dangers you never even knew about were dismantled before they could reach you. You were never as unprotected as you felt. There was always a shield unseen. And this shield is not thin, not weak. It is described in the word as a fortress, a refuge, a strong tower. When the attacks come, and yes, some will still try, the blows will not land as they once did. The weapons may form, but they will not prosper. They may launch arrows, but you are clothed in armor. You are not naked in this battle. You are covered head to toe in divine defense. This protection is not only external, it is internal. God guards your mind when confusion tries to invade. He guards your heart when bitterness tries to root. He guards your spirit when fear tries to suffocate. What once shook you will no longer shake you, because assurance itself has become your shield. And understand, this protection does not mean the absence of battle. It means the guarantee of survival. It means no matter how fierce the storm, you will not drown. No matter how hot the fire, you will not burn. Like the 3 Hebrews in Babylon's furnace, you will come out without even the smell of smoke on your clothes. That is the kind of assurance covering you now. This is why you can walk boldly. Not because the path is free of obstacles, but because the one who goes before you has already cleared the outcome. He has gone ahead, marked the route, prepared the escape, written the victory. You do not need to know every detail. You only need to trust the author. So let peace settle in you, like a warm mantle. Let assurance silence the doubts. The God who avenges also protects. The God who restores also preserves. The God who promised to lift you will not let you fall in the lifting. You are surrounded. You are covered. You are safe. When the dust settles and the prophecy manifests, your life will not resemble what it once was. The shift will be so profound that even you will struggle to recognize yourself. For transformation in God's hands is not small, not partial, not cosmetic. It is total. It is fulfillment in its purest form. You will rise, not with the bitterness of vengeance, but with the fragrance of victory. Those who thought you would remain broken will see you whole. Those who thought you would walk in shame will see you clothed in honor. The same lips that spoke curses over you will be forced to speak your name with respect. Not because you demanded it, but because heaven's glory resting on you will make it undeniable. Internally, you will feel the shift first. Where anxiety once lived, peace will reign. Where confusion clouded, clarity will shine. Where heaviness weighed, joy will overflow. This is not temporary relief. It is permanent reordering. The pain that defined one chapter will not follow into the next. You will carry scars, yes, but they will be badges of survival, not chains of sorrow. Externally, doors will open that you could not force. Opportunities will find you without striving. Connections will align that you never orchestrated. The elevation will be so precise, so undeniable, that all you will be able to say is, "This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes." And the impact will ripple. Transformation is never just for you. It is for those assigned to your voice, your influence, your presence. People will find healing in your testimony. Strangers will find hope in your resilience. Entire atmospheres will shift simply because you walk into the room carrying the evidence of God's faithfulness. This is the feast prepared in the presence of enemies. This is the overflowing cup. This is the crown for ashes, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, the oil of joy replacing mourning. You will not only taste redemption, you will embody it. You will walk as living proof that no betrayal can cancel destiny, no delay can erase calling, no wound can withhold glory. And those who once looked down on you will not know how to approach you now. Some will repent, others will retreat, but all will recognize God's hand has lifted you higher than human power could ever reach. The fulfillment is not only in what you receive, it is in who you become. Stronger, wiser, radiant, not desperate, not broken, not forgotten. Fulfillment means the prophecy no longer lives in words alone. It breathes in your reality. And when that moment comes, gratitude will pour out of you like a river. You will look back at the nights you almost gave up, the prayers you thought went unanswered, the tears you thought went unseen, and you will see how every single one was a stepping stone leading to this place. You will say, "It was worth it. Every battle, every loss, every scar, it was worth it for this glory." That is the vision of your future. That is the portrait heaven paints. Transformation beyond recognition, fulfillment beyond imagination. Take these words with you now, not as poetry but as weapons, not as inspiration but as declarations. Speak them aloud. Let them sink into your spirit. Let them echo in your atmosphere. Affirmation 1. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, for I am shielded by the hand of God. Affirmation 2. Every betrayal, every loss, every wound is being reversed into blessing by divine justice. Affirmation 3. I walk in victory. I rise in strength. I live in fulfillment because God has decreed it. Affirmation 4. My destiny cannot be canceled. My light cannot be dimmed. My purpose cannot be stolen. These are not just words. They are decrees. Every time you repeat them, you align yourself with heaven's verdict over your life. You are reminding your soul of what God has already established, and reminding the enemy of what he cannot undo. So go forward with assurance. Go forward knowing that you are not forgotten, not forsaken, not abandoned. The vengeance of the Lord is not fueled by anger. It is fueled by love. Love for you, his chosen, his anointed, his vessel. He will not allow your story to end in defeat. He will not allow your name to be buried in shame. He will lift you, cover you, and crown you in his time, and that time is drawing near. May the blessing of peace rest on you like a mantle. May clarity flood your mind, and joy flood your heart. May angels stand guard at your side, and may the presence of God overshadow you in every step. May every curse be reversed, every scheme be dismantled, every wound be healed, and may your life become the living proof that the Judge of heaven always defends his own. Walk boldly, walk confidently, walk with your head high, for the word has gone forth, and it will not return void. They will regret hurting you, because they did not know who you truly were. But you know now, and heaven knows. So rest in this blessing. You are loved. You are chosen. You are rising. And nothing, no one, no scheme of man or darkness can stop what God is unfolding in your life. It is sealed. It is done. It is yours.